Guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Chelsea, and today we are going to be reviewing a new foundation to me. It is the Haley's Reset Liquid Matte Foundation, and I'm so excited to try this because I remember a year or two ago, Tati from Glam Life Guru did a review on this foundation. She absolutely loved it. I went into Target, tried to find a shade match, and for some reason I just could not. So I went into Target recently and they had this foundation for sale for half off. So it came up to like $10. And I found a shade that I feel I could work with. So I was like, let me give it a try. So that's what we are doing today. I'm going to be doing a full day wear test. I will probably have this foundation on for a solid 8+ hours, so you'll definitely be able to see how it holds up at the end of the day. We'll also be doing flash photography, and I'll be applying it with a sponge and a brush. So you'll definitely want to stay tuned if you are interested in this foundation. If this is your first time here, definitely stick around and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on my video and taking some time out of your day to spend it with me. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for your constant support. You know it means a lot to me, and I just want to always reiterate to you all how much you mean to me. So let's get into this video. Okay, so like I said in my intro, we are going to be doing a review on this Haley's Reset Liquid Matte Foundation. This comes in 1 fluid ounce or 30 mils of product. I have the shade 6.65 Neutral, which I have worn this shade a couple times and it is slightly too warm for me, but I can make it work. And out of the shades that I saw in the Target store, this was the best shade, I feel, in my opinion. So to give you a little background on the product, this does come in 33 shades, and I think the shade range is pretty decent. Hopefully you all can see that. I think there's a pretty good range of colors. Now, all of these shades were not in the Target store that I went to. As a matter of fact, this product was half off in the Target store, so I'm wondering if Target is not gonna carry it anymore. But I have seen this obviously on the Haley's Beauty website, and I've also seen it in Macy's. It does retail for $20, and the claims are it's a liquid matte foundation formulated with a double dose of pigments to deliver instant coverage that hides all imperfections. Its coverage is going to be medium to full. The finish is going to be matte, and it's formulated for normal, combination, and oily skin tones. It is free of parabens, sulfates, phthalates, and fragrance. The shades range from fair to deep complexions and everything in between. It's going to blend seamlessly for a weightless long wear coverage to last throughout the day and night. It says that you can apply it with a sponge or a brush to achieve whatever coverage level you like. And then lastly, it says that this is expertly crafted with a proprietary rich antioxidant blend to hydrate, nourish, and protect the skin for a fresh finish and stunning glow that can't be matched. Interesting. Stunning glow, hydrating, matte finish. Enough about the details, let's get this on our face. So I'm going to use my Touch in Soul No Poreblem Primer just to fill in my pores. And then I'm going in with the Urban Decay All Nighter primer because I will be wearing this foundation all day and all night tonight. I'm going to see Celine Dion in concert tonight, and I am so excited. I love her, y'all, like love her. Never thought I would be able to see her in concert, and I am tonight. So we're going to do a sponge on one side and a brush on another, so on the other side. So this is the package. I didn't really talk about the packaging, so let's do that. It's a squeezy tube, if you will, but I like the packaging. It's neat, it's sleek. It's flat, so it's easy to store. I wish I could stand it up just because I like to stand up my foundations, but you can't because it doesn't allow for that. And then you just pull the cap off. This cap is pretty sturdy, and there's actually, I don't know if you all can see that on the inside, but there's actually like, looks like little prongs that hold the cap in place, which is good. So it's not gonna be a cap that's gonna be flimsy. So I'm just gonna apply the foundation on this side of my face. And like I said, I have worn this a couple times already. I've only worn it with a brush in terms of application. So I'll see how this looks with a sponge. There is fragrance well, I should say there's a smell. There's not fragrance because it doesn't smell like perfume or anything, but there is a smell to the foundation, but it's not overpowering in my opinion. And after it blends into the skin, it goes away. So like I said, it is slightly warmer. You can tell by my ears and also by this side of my face, but this blended in really good and quickly with the sponge. I mean, as I'm talking to you, it's already blended in. And as you can see, the finish is matte, but what I do like, it's not a parched matte. That's what I call matte foundations that like suck all the hydration out of your face and instantly make you look dry. I don't feel make me look dry or anything like that. So this is with foundation on one side, no foundation on another. So then let's apply hopefully the same amount on this side. And what I do like about this is product doesn't shoot out of here, so you really can try to control the amount of foundation you want to apply to your face. So I'm going to go in with my Flower Beauty brush and blend this in, and automatically you can already see there's more coverage with the brush. Okay, so this is what the foundation looks like on this side of my face blended out with a brush versus with the sponge. And like I said, you can already tell that there's more coverage with a brush. So let's come on in so you can get a closer look of the foundation. And I can already tell y'all, I'm really liking this foundation. Like I said, you all know that I like dewier, or I should say glowier bases. And even though this is formulated to be more matte, I do not feel like it's overly matte. Like you can still see some glow to my skin, which would come from my skincare because I didn't use any glowing primers or things like that. I am going to just apply a little bit more here so we can kind of match the coverage. I definitely think this can be built up to full coverage for sure. But as you saw, if you did not want to wear this full coverage, you don't have to, which I like, because typically I don't wear my foundations full coverage all the time. So yes, this is what we're looking like, and I ain't mad. All right, so let's do some flash photography, and then we'll come back to see if there is any flashback. So as you can see, there is no flashback. I did not blend out the foundation too well in this part of my face, but that's fine. We can go ahead and blend it out. But there's no flashback, so that's really good. Like I said, the shade is definitely not the best shade for me, but I can make this work just, you know, by dragging it down my neck. And then of course, when I add concealer, like I said, I feel like I can balance out this shade. I'm going to put on the rest of my makeup, and then I will touch back with you so you can see what everything looks like. And then I will of course touch back in at the end of the day to show you how things held up. So stay tuned. Okay guys, so this is what everything looks like on my face on top of the foundation. As always, I will list everything down in the description box as to what I have on my face. But so far, I'm really enjoying this. But yes, some things that I wanted to point out that I noticed. I do think this foundation dries kind of quickly. So I would say work in sections. I noticed right around here that the foundation was kind of sticking to my skin. And I don't know if it was because of the primer, like if the this all-nighter primer may not have been the best for it, because this is a gripping primer. So I don't know if there was like a little bit of stickiness to that area, so it patched off slightly, but I just kind of scratched off the area that looked patchy and applied some more, and that was fine. And then I also noticed the same thing right around here, but on the rest of my face I didn't see any issues with that, so I did want to point that out just to make you all aware. But this foundation definitely, I would say, could be self-setting as well, in terms of before I applied powder, I did touch all over my face and there really wasn't too much tack to it, but I did notice transfer. So if you're the type of person who doesn't like to set their foundations, I don't think you have to, but do know that this foundation will transfer. I honestly think all foundations transfer. but I do feel like this foundation would probably last longer if it was set with a powder. I do like the way this is looking. I think it just looks really nice. I think my skin looks flawless, and yeah, those are my thoughts so far. So I'm gonna go on with the rest of my day, and then I will check back in at the end of the day to show you what it all looks like at the end of the day. Hey guys, so stay back. It is the end of the day. For me, technically it's not really the end of the day, but I've had this foundation on for 6, 12. I've had this foundation on for 10 hours. So good enough wear time for us to take a look to see how this foundation did hold up throughout the day. I just finished eating, so that's why my lip is a little worn. So I'm gonna come in so you can see what this is looking like. So you can get your own personal thoughts on the foundation. But like I said, I've had this foundation on for about 10 hours, and I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, so I am a little dewy, so I am going to blot because I do want to do that, but I do not feel like I produce a ton of oils. Now, I do have fairly normal skin. I don't get too oily in my T-zone, but I can tell when a foundation is too drying because I produce more oils. And it's just for the simple fact that when your skin feels like it can't breathe, that your pores are clogged or your skin is dehydrated, your oil glands are going to produce more oil so that you can be more hydrated. Makes sense, right? So I liked that although I did have some dew, I wasn't overly dewy in this area where I do typically produce my oils. Outside of that, I feel like this foundation looked really flawless on my skin throughout the day, and I still feel like it looks pretty flawless. It is definitely more full coverage than what I would normally wear. So if I were to wear this foundation again, if I wasn't going for like a full glam look, I would wear it the way that it applied earlier with the sponge. Just one light layer to, you know, cover up any imperfections that I have, but not to look, you know, overly done. But I am really liking this foundation. It really reminds me of the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Soft Matte Foundation, but not as matte. Because that foundation, in my opinion, is really matte, and I actually have to mix that foundation with a more hydrating foundation because it's too matte. This is not nearly as matte, but the overall finish reminds me of that. And I love that foundation for the finish. It looks like, I just feel like my skin looks flawless. It didn't settle into my fine line right here. I mean, like, it's just the slightest bit of settling here. Just a little bit of settling here, but nothing that I feel exaggerates my fine lines. And I really like the coverage. Like I said earlier in the video, this is not a first impression. This is the third time that I've worn this foundation, the second time that I've worn it for a full day. And both times I've just been like, I like you. I like you a lot. So, I mean, yeah, looking at myself from afar, I really feel like this looks really beautiful. I don't feel like it wore off anywhere too crazy. Like, I've got my lipstick staining right here, and I do feel like around my mouth where I've been eating, like right here, it has broken apart just a little bit. And then I always do this, I think I've told you all before, I always like touch on my chin, so I feel like it has worn away here. But all along here, I mean, my blush still looks pretty prominent. My highlight is still present. My bronzer is here. I don't feel like the foundation has patched off or worn off anywhere. So I do feel like this is pretty long wear. I'm just gonna get my Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Powder, and let's do a little touching up. We're just gonna touch up here in the T-zone area, just to see how this touches up, which I think it is touching up beautifully. And this powder is just amazing anyway. I reapplied a little bit of blush, a little bit more highlight, and I'm ready to go. Spray my face with this. And I think this foundation, I'm looking at myself from afar, I think this foundation could definitely give me, honestly, wear throughout the rest of the night. I am really impressed with this foundation, and especially with it basically being $10 because it's on sale at Target. At least at the local Targets that I've been to, I think this is an amazing foundation. And if you've been interested in it or if you want to try it, I definitely think you should. Even for $20, this is an amazing foundation. So even if you have to pay full price for it, if you're interested in it, yeah, I say go for it. So yes, those are my thoughts. Let me know down below what you think of the foundation and the wear of it, because I'm impressed. But that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope to see you in my very next video. Bye, guys.